the core of what we do is we're into upcycling wood which we collect from the streets of the local area around Bristol, and then we will repurpose that wood, denail it, clean it up, and either sell it through the shop or sell it through material which we build into furniture through the workshop or whatever. But what's a little bit different for us is that we're a workers' cooperative, we're a social enterprise, and we're made up of a core of people who are regular members of staff, but also a large cadre of volunteers that sit around that, and we try and pull people again from the local community for whatever reason that they might want to come and spend their time here helping us recycle wood. We have a workshop over on the far side here, one of the largest parts of our revenue generation. And the final step in the workshop for anything that we build is that we will take wood, regular scaff material, for example, like this, and it requires sanding. Everything that we build requires sanding. And today, that last step is a significant act, standing there with a sander for an extensive period of time, because they turn it into something looking genuinely beautiful. We felt we could take the labour out of that, and it's not an easy job for people to stand there all day. It's quite noisy, it's quite dirty as well, and so there's a machine that we can have to do all of that operation. But fitting that machine into our constrained space was really very difficult. This led to us feeling that we could automate that process, but we then needed to create space for an operation that we call drying the timber. All this timber comes in quite wet, and it has to be settled and dried so that it doesn't move after its use. So where we put that became a bit of a dilemma for us, and we set upon this idea of a solar kiln. So a solar kiln is essentially a large greenhouse. We can put the damp timber in there, and we harvest the rays of the sun. That creates warmth in there, and with the help of some solar panels, we will drive air across the wood so that we largely take the moisture out of it before we work with it. Funding all of that was very difficult for a not-for-profit, for something like that. And that's when we found the guys at City Leap terrifically helpful, because that took something which was going to be quite a head-scratcher for us about could we afford it, could we get on with it, to really a very, very simple decision. The grants that were available from City Leap were completely transformational in our decision-making process, because it became such a no-brainer for us. That improvement that we're getting in the volunteer experience means that we keep volunteers longer. We get lots and lots of people turn up here, and they spend 3 or 4 weeks, but actually they're not really getting what they want out of it, because the day job needs to be done, and that involves a lot of sanding. So the release of that and the retention now that we get from volunteers, and the improvement in the business overall, way bigger than the direct costs of the carbon that we're saving. But just so nice to have that triple whammy of it's really good for the business, it's really good for climate because we don't like spending the carbon, and it's fantastic for the volunteers to be released from that work.